Hey everybody, come on, let me show you how to make good old spicy pork chop sandwich. The what we do down here in Mississippi by way of Alabama. Roll Tide. Thank you so much for joining me here at Freddie Cooks International. Before we get started, let me give you a secret here. The secret ingredient, the key essential, is the dehydrated onions. If you ever tried to make a Big Mac at home and it didn't taste just quite right, it's probably because you didn't have the key ingredient, which is the dehydrated onions. We're going to be using the dehydrated onions in this spicy pork chop sandwich today. In order to get them just right, we got to hydrate the dehydrated onions. So we're going to add water and set it aside. Okay, now we got to make sure our pork chop is breaded and seasoned just right. We're going to add a few scoops of flour to a plastic Ziploc bag. You can use a paper bag, you can use a plastic bag, you can use a bowl with a top. You can use anything that you can close because we're about to shake it like we just ain't got no sense. I want you to find you some good old hot wing seasoning, and we're gonna add probably about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons, like so. Now we're gonna add a little salt, maybe about a teaspoon. You can do a teaspoon and a half, something like that. Don't have to be exact, just put you some in there. We're gonna add some accent seasoning, about a teaspoon or so. We need to add some garlic powder and some onion powder, about a teaspoon of each, a little or more. I'm gonna add some Cajun seasoning. I'm using Tony's, about a teaspoon. And I'll put a little paprika just to give it some little green specks in there. Paprika, not paprika, what's that? That's parsley. Parsley don't really add that much flavor, but it make it look pretty. I'm adding some pepper as well. Now I'm starting to season my meat with the same seasonings that I use for my breading. We're gonna use a little pepper, a little black pepper there. Gonna use a little soy sauce, just a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon. We're gonna add a little Worcestershire sauce, W sauce if you can't say the word. About a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of that as well to our pork chops. We're gonna also add onion powder and garlic powder. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. If you don't have it, don't cook pork chops because it ain't gonna taste right. I'm just kidding. It's up to you, but we're using some garlic and onion in these chops. Now, as you can see what I'm doing, I am making sure both sides of the meat is seasoned and flavored well because we're going to eat both sides of the meat. Why not flavor both sides of the meat? Just using the same seasonings that we used, like so. And here we go. We're going to get ready to shake this food. We're going to shake this. We're going to shake it like it stole something. Before we shake it like we just ain't got no sense, let's add a little bit more of the hot wing seasoning to the meat itself. That way we can have flavor on the outside and flavor on the inside, baby. Now we are going to add our seasoned meat to the bag of flour, and we're just going to shake, shake, shake. Hey, we're going to shake the devil off. Hey. You would have already preheated your oil, medium-high heat, and we're going to add our pork chops. Get a good little crisp, good little fry, nice little hot oil treatment. Let's just take some time and appreciate that sound. Now, it is very important not to cook your pork chops or anything that you're frying too high. You don't want your outside to be too done, too black, too crispy, too crunchy before the inside gets done. And you don't want to cook it too low because you don't want it all soggy. So it is important that you cook it at the perfect temperature, which is a medium to high heat. Medium high, in between medium and high. This should be the result, nice and golden brown, that turns your frown upside down. Okay, now that our pork chops are almost done, we're just gonna drain the water off of our dehydrated onions that has now become hydrated. And we're gonna start building our spicy pork chop sandwich. Are you ready? Let's do it. We're gonna be building these sandwiches with tomatoes and lettuce. You can use your favorite hot sauce. Today, I'll be using Louisiana and Tapatio salsa picante. We're gonna spread a thick layer of mayo on there. If you don't like mayo, you really don't have to use it, but for this sandwich, it just really adds another layer of some other when you add the greasiness from their pork chop. You just gotta trust me on this one. If you like mayo, don't skip this step. Now, when I order my Big Macs, I always get extra dehydrated onions on there because I love onions. I just do. So, nothing different in this case. I'm going to add a heavy layer of hydrated onions. You do as you will. We're adding our lettuce. As much as you like, as little as you like. I'm adding my tomatoes. Don't talk about me because I didn't cut these tomatoes too pretty. They're not too even, but you cut your tomatoes even and then it'll be okay for you if that's how you like it. This is what I ended up with. That's what I'm using. Add a little pepper on there. And guess what's missing? Y'all, we gotta add the meat. Go ahead and add your pork chop to it, and then we're going to add our hot sauce. In this case, I am using, there's Louisiana hot sauce, and I'm going to be using, as I've mentioned before, Tapatio salsa picante hot sauce, as little as or as much as you like. And we're going to add a little ketchup to balance out the spiciness. And guess what? I don't think you're going to believe your mouth. No. Never had a pork chop sandwich like this before. And there we have it. Good old spicy pork chop sandwich. Nothing too hard. It's very simple and very delicious. Until later. Go ahead and make yourself one today. Thank you for joining me here at Freddie Cooks International Soul Food. Until next time, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, add a comment, say hello. Stay safe, stay blessed, and enjoy your food.